At various times I use this flatter I made, and it comes in handy, but in certain situations it can be a little bit awkward to use. I also use this set hammer that I made a while back, and also it's useful, but sometimes not exactly what I need. I want to use this short piece of 1.5" medium carbon to make a round flatter / set hammer. And I'll use this 1/2" rod to permanently handle it. This simple punch style tong I made ages ago is very useful for holding 1.5" vertically, but not very useful for holding horizontally like this. So I dig into my bag of tricks and I find a flat style tong, this one here, that should work, but even better I find this pair that I made a while back but have never used, and I think this will work just fine. I need to give a big shout out to Deborah Richards. She's a Patreon supporter, a tool customer, and a merch customer. And recently she went well above and beyond and gave an extremely generous donation. Can't thank her enough. Might as well say this video is sponsored by Deborah Richards. Thank you. This is an older guillotine tool I made that's a little bit wider and will accommodate the 1.5" round. This is my newest version fullering tool that I'm selling. The throat opening is about 1.5", but is practical for 1" bar stock and below. You can see how the limits of this slightly larger version are stretched by this 1.5" round stock. Progress is typically slow with flat dies like these. I was thinking about using my fullering dies here, but I'll do that on another one at another time. By the way, this tong is working really well. With a traditional square flatter, sometimes the 4 corners can become a problem, so a round flatter has its place. My Japanese style hammer here, made from YK30 steel, is just a pleasure to use. By the way, you might recall I made this punch from that YK30 steel as well. Working out pretty well. I had no intention of grinding that groove, but I found this wheel that's just about the right size, so I might do a little bit on that. Never careful. You can see I zip my finger here. Just a little exfoliating of the skin, a little beauty care, nothing to worry about. It would take forever to grind in a 2 or 3 millimeter deep groove like that, but since I have that wheel, I just decide to clean up my fullered areas just a little bit. A quick word, pop over to GS Tongs Spread Shop, buy some merch, and support the channel. The link's in the description box down below. Thanks a lot. Boy, I got an ugly looking bald head. I'm surprised it's a little bit short. I actually cut a little bit off the end thinking that it might be too long, but that's not a problem at all. I can stretch it a little, plus it doesn't have to go completely around. Being that this is 1045 medium carbon, I know that I can quench it a second time without cracking it, but I still have to be careful. If it was 1050 medium carbon, this would be a bit more tricky. So for the longest time, I've been using this piece of round with this pair of tongs to do what I want, but this new handled flatter / set hammer should be much better. I'll be using this tool very soon. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.